Hi everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. I'm just going to be elaborating a little more upon what I was up to in my gap year this year. I was hoping to speak about what I've been doing and the impact which it's had on my faith. So when it came to choosing my gap year, a lot of my friends wanted to go travelling. Which I was also really keen on, but there's so many brilliant things you can do to volunteer with Christian organisations. So we got in touch with some family friends of ours. This is a picture of me with my dad and the guy who I was staying with, along with his wife, and 3 of his boys are pictured in the photo. Dad just sent him an email and wondered if I might be able to go and stay with them. They have a volunteer who comes to live alongside them in their mission work every year, and the answer was yes, which was very exciting. So the place where I actually went to stay was Lebanon. Someone actually asked me before I went, so where is Lebanon? And I had to tell them very honestly, I don't know. So in case some of you don't know, like I didn't, this is where Lebanon is. It's in the Middle East, and we were staying just north of Beirut. So yes, that's where we're located, next to the beautiful mountains of the north. And so this was the family which I was staying with. There's Mike and Vicky, the couple, and their youngest son Mark. They also have 3 older boys who weren't living with us throughout the year, although they did come over to see us at Christmas, which was very, very exciting for them all to be together as a family again. And this was the apartment block where we lived. You can see the beautiful mountains in the background. It was absolutely stunning. And we were just on the middle floor. It was a really wonderful location because we were close to lots of the Syrian refugee families who we were working with. And so I just thought I'd pull together a selection of photos of the country because it's absolutely beautiful. I would definitely recommend going if you're planning a holiday anytime soon. You can actually ski in the mountains and swim in the sea on the same day, which was very special. We did spend Christmas Day on the beach, which was slightly surreal. So pictured here are the cedars of Lebanon, which are quite famous, mentioned quite a few times in the Bible. There's also a mosque in one of the pictures. So Lebanon's quite a unique country. There's almost a 50-50 split between Christians and Muslims. So that was really wonderful, kind of drawing alongside not only Christians but Muslims as well, and hearing about their faith and how much it means to them. And yes, up in the top right hand corner is a picture of when we took some of the Syrian children to the snow for the first time, and they had never been before, which was a very, very special moment. So Mike and Vicky's main ministry is with the Syrian refugees who have come over from Syria, obviously, and are based in Lebanon now. So this little girl, it's absolutely gorgeous, is currently holding up the Syrian flag. And so, yeah, unfortunately, the education centre where I was teaching was closed for the majority of the year. So I spent a lot of time visiting the children in their homes. This particular occasion, we were making lanterns for Ramadan, which is one of their festivals. Unfortunately, which is a bit silly of me, I didn't take a picture of the education centre whilst I was away. So I found one on Google Maps. It's not the best quality, but this was the centre. So we were open for 9 weeks of the year, but otherwise closed because of restrictions. and next door to the right you can see the church building. So yeah, that was just, it's a very happy place for me, because I got to see all of the children every day whilst it was open. This is all of them getting off the bus. Obviously with COVID we had to abide by restrictions, so in the classroom all of the children wore masks whilst they were walking around, and I had a visor as a teacher. This is me reading to some little kindergarten students. The one in the middle was blinking at the time, he wasn't actually asleep. So all of the children spoke Arabic, that was their mother tongue. Some of the older ones had better English because they'd been going to the centre for a number of years. So that was always really wonderful going to see them in their homes. I taught English, maths and music to almost all of the students at various different ages. And yes, that was our time at the centre, which was really special. So as I said, the majority of the year, apart from the 9 weeks where we were at school, I went to visit the children in their homes. The culture there is one of just incredible hospitality. People will spend hours and hours every day visiting and drinking cups of tea and coffee and chatting. So it was very normal to rock up at someone's front door and for them to just welcome you into their home for a good chunk of their day, which was perfect for me because it meant I could go, and I had in my what we referred to as my Mary Poppins bag, lots of games and puzzles and colouring and cards and sometimes sweeties if they were lucky. So I'd just go and spend lots of time sitting on the floor, drawing alongside the kids. Yeah, as I said, their mother tongue is Arabic, but a smile gets you a long way, I believe. So yeah, it was a really, really, really special time, and just wonderful that I was able to be a part of their lives. It was just such a privilege. I often came out praising God for such a wonderful time, and it was really by his grace, because I had no Arabic at all, and yet was able to form such deep relationships with some of the children. And the other part of the ministry whilst I was out there was working with the youth group of the church. So this is all of us on the last night that we met together. It was really, really special being with people my own age. And I felt very at home there, having grown up in the St Andrew's youth group. It felt very familiar, going on Saturday nights and running games and doing Bible studies with one another. So yeah, that was lots of fun, and I often met with some of the girls one-to-one during the week for catch-ups and Bible studies, and I'm still in contact with them now, which is just so lovely. The Lebanese people have amazing English and French as well. So they're either English or French educated. So it was just fabulous that I could converse with them all, and they were almost all fluent in English, which was really, really special, and just such a privilege being a part of their spiritual growth, I guess. I felt really blessed to be a part of that. So I thought I'd share a little bit of how actually being away has changed and really shaped my faith over the last 9 months. So before I left to go away, George, my brother, wrote me a lovely letter with this verse on the front of it. It's from 2 Corinthians 3, verse 4 and 5. And I just thought I'd share it with you, you guys. It says, "Such confidence we have through Christ before God, not that we are competent in ourselves to claim anything for ourselves, but our competence comes from God. And this is what he wrote on the back. I read 2 Corinthians 3, verse 4 and 5 the other day. 2 words stood out to me: competence and confidence. I looked up in the dictionary the word competence, and it said the ability to do something successfully. And it reminded me that God gives us the confidence to do things competently and successfully through Christ's death. This confidence is not arrogance, but confidence in God, because God supplies our needs and he keeps his promises. And we can have confidence in Christ, which will bring success and glory to him. For Paul, this meant he could serve God to different people and groups, despite hardships, challenges, and apparent failures. So my prayer is that you will be filled with Christ's confidence and that you will glorify God when you're away in Lebanon and forevermore. So first of all, I was a bit surprised that my 17-year-old brother suddenly had so much wisdom, but also I don't think I ever could have comprehended the way that God would really teach me this truth over the next 9 months. I know that going to Lebanon, I've learnt more and more about how my identity is in Jesus and nothing else. When I was in the UK, being a Christian was a big part of who I was, but I also found my identity in things like coming from a big family, academic achievement, Christian work that I was doing, coming from St Andrews, and I know that in my heart I was very proud, and I remember doing a Bible study where we had a look at John 15, and the verse which stood out was the one where it says, Jesus says to his disciples, I am the vine and you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit, but apart from me you can do nothing. And I remember thinking that it must be speaking metaphorically, because there were plenty of things that I could do without Jesus. And I think I thought that I had chosen to let him into my life because I had wanted to, and I showed him the areas where he could help and where I was happy to accept that. But otherwise I could handle the rest by myself. I know I liked to be in control, and in my heart I would say, I've let you in, Jesus, because I've chosen to and because it's the right thing to do, but not because I need you. And then I went to Lebanon, and suddenly I was in a new country with a new culture, a new language, new people. No one knew that I was Eloise from Lebanon. From Lebanon? No, Eloise from Malvern. With Adam and Ruth, my parents, and George and Sophie and Doobie and Cecily as my siblings, or where I lived, or anything at all. And it didn't matter about any of that stuff either. And I remember I had this moment where I went downstairs to visit our Syrian neighbours, and just before I was about to knock on the door, I thought, this is crazy. These people have no idea who I am. I'm just the girl who's moved in upstairs. I don't even speak their language. And suddenly all that I had left was Jesus. He was the only thing which had remained constant and steadfast. And what a wonderful thing that was. He's just revealed to me, or I think I've understood by the help of the Holy Spirit, more of his amazing love and beauty and grace. And despite my pride and the way which I had kept him at arm's length, he's been so gentle and patient in the way that he's shown me my need for him this year. And I know that it is only through Jesus that I have confidence to stand before God, because he sees Jesus's perfect righteous life and not my sinful one. And so I think I've understood more as well why Jesus tells us to pray, please give me today my daily bread, because every day I need to come to him for his help. He's the source of all of my gifts, all of my strength, everything that I boasted in before, and even down to the finest details, the lungfuls of air that I take. It is him who sustains me. So I think I've understood a little more this year of what it means to have Jesus at the centre of my identity, and every day I'm comforted by the knowledge that I no longer have to strive to be the best or to seek approval from the people around me, and there's a wonderful joy in acknowledging that weakness and my need, and for him and for his help, and just delighting in the security that I have in him. But that's not to say that I've got it all sorted at all. It's been quite a hard transition coming back home, but I guess it's just reaffirmed this truth that even amongst that, Jesus remains the same. He's so constant and steadfast, and whether I'm in Malvern or in Lebanon, he doesn't change. And so yeah, I just wanted to thank you all for taking some time out of your day to watch this video. It's been so special being able to share a little of what I've been getting up to, and thank you so much for all of your prayer and support whilst I was away as well. It was just so encouraging to know that people were thinking of me back home and praying for me also. And I can't wait to see you all in person, perhaps at church, perhaps over a cup of coffee, whatever it is. It would just be so lovely to catch up. But yeah, thank you again for listening, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.